Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to do another landscape flip cup pour. I'm going to do some beautiful blues for the sky, really pale, really soft colours, and then some really pale pastely greens as well. I'm going to use some oil in the greens and I'm going to put a little bit of pink and a bit of purple in as well to create some flowers. It's very, very similar to a pour I've done previously. I've had a request commissioned to do another one. So colours are all mixed, all ready to go, really excited to get started. So let me show you the colours. These are the colours that I'm using. Excuse the messy pots. I've already used a lot of these colours and I reuse my stir sticks, so you can see that they look a bit of a mess. I will throw them after this use. So I've got a really pale purple, a really pale pink, and I've got 5 different shades of green. So most of them stem from this one, which is Sap Green by Pebeo Studio Acrylics. No, sorry, it's not sap green, it's earth green. And then also the brilliant green, which is the Amsterdam one, which I think is this. And then I've just been adding different amounts of white just to get different shades. The same with the blues. So this one is King's Blue and this one is Manganese Blue. And I've just added white to them just to get these different shades. And of course, I've got some silver there. They're all quite runny. Let me show you the consistency. All mixed with PVA glue and water. And in all the greens and the pink and the purple, I've added a tiny drop of this. You can't see what it is from the bottle, but it's OGX coconut milk hair serum, which is an oil. So I've added some oil into these because I'm going to create a meadow effect. I'm going to create some cells to make it look like some leaves and some grass and some flowers. I hope that's the plan. The canvas I'm using for this piece is 25 by 50 centimetres. So it's going to be a long portrait style landscape. That fits in perfectly 8 little flip cups made from these little paper cups. I don't want 4 cups for the sky, 4 cups for the grass. I don't want the symmetry. So I'm going to do 3 cups for the sky and 5 cups at the bottom for the grass. So I'm going to layer up first of all 5 cups with these colours. Now the very bottom cup, I want to have more of the dark green in because if it's darker at the bottom, it will look like it's closer. So it will give a bit more perspective. So I'm just going to, in fact, let's just pour this first one. I'm just going to dribble some into the cup, just down the side of the cup. These colours will blend. In fact, that's a light one. Let's leave that light one out then. Let's leave that to nearer the top. And then I'm going to put in some of the pink. Now there is a very big chance that these will muddy and I'll get some brown. That's the risk that I'm taking, but that's the risk I'm willing to take because I want the colour, I want the flowers. So there's going to be much more of this dark green in this bottom cup. So I'm now going to do the blues. I've decided to add just a tiny bit of the really dark blue in. Not a lot, but just for contrast. And there's going to be 3 cups here. I'm going to make the top cup the darkest one. So I think I'll put a little bit of this dark blue right in that top one. And for the sky, I'm going to let the paints just drizzle in from a height because then actually they will start mixing in the cup. And that will just give a bit more, it will just make it look a little bit more fluid and I think a little bit more natural looking. So my cups are all now in position. So the darkest one with the blue to the lightest one, then the lightest greens to the darkest greens. So they're going to be flip cups. So I'm just first of all put them down, otherwise I will spill them everywhere. And then I'm going to flip them all over onto the canvas. Actually, I'm probably better off starting this end. They're quite difficult to flip because they're so small. Oh. And the paint is quite fluid. They are difficult to flip. Right, they're done, they're down. So I'm going to flip and drag them towards the edge of the canvas. And then what I quite like to do is just add a few little ribbons on, especially for the sky, because I think it just makes it look like wispy clouds. And then when I tilt this out in a minute, that will all straighten up really nicely. I think I might do the same for the grass, but again, just do some thicker lines, just so there's a little bit more variation. It's not so important for the grass because obviously there's oil in this, so this will change a lot when I start torching it. Right, so I'm going to tilt it away from me to start with, just to get that edge covered. It's virtually covered. Now I deliberately use quite a lot of paint, so you can see that it's already spilling over the edge. That's fine because there's quite a lot of paint on here. I know I've got plenty of paint, so I'm not worried about losing some already. Just dab that corner because the corners are always the most difficult to get covered. Right, so if I just tip it away from me, great, all covered. Right, a couple of big lumps in there. Let's get rid of those now. So now I'm going to tip it away from me to get the rest of the canvas covered. I'm going to have to tilt down to the corners. Oh, I can see another lump. It often happens if you use, oh no, now I put green in the sky. That's okay, I'll sort that out. It often happens if you use the ends of paints in cups, and especially if they've been sat for a few days, it just solidifies a little bit in the cup. And so when you scrape a cup, or I try not to, but I know I did then, when you scrape the edges of the cup, you often do get little congealed bits of paint, little solidified bits of paint. Right, I'm going up to the top corner to get the blue of the sky covered. So I'm obviously massively distorting this, but it doesn't matter because I know I've got plenty of paint on here. So I'm going to be able to bring that down now and get that green corner covered. Still got loads of paint, and then I can then just straighten this up to roughly where I want it. Now, where I was just digging through the paint, it's created a beautiful sort of ripply swirly effect. I really like that. Really pretty. Right, so now I'm going to torch the grassy area to get some little cells. I'm hoping that's what will happen. I'm not going to torch all of it. I'm going to torch in lines, so hopefully it will make it look like some little hills with some lines in the, like in a meadow, but so like a bank, or give it a bit more perspective. So in fact, let's just torch the blue as well. No silicone in the blue, but there are air bubbles, so let's just get rid of some of those. Right, oh look, so you can see the cells coming. So let's just do a few lines. Now obviously the cells are more obvious. Oops, sorry, I just head-butted the phone. More obvious where you've got the darker green. So let's just torch there a bit more. But I really like the subtlety of the paler colours up here. Oh, I'm actually torching everywhere now. And I also like it when you get cells actually on the horizon, because it looks like uneven ground. It looks like sort of flowers or bushes going up into the horizon over towards the sky. So yeah, quite like that. I'll do a little bit more. Really happy with just how delicate it is. The colours are so pale, they're beautiful, but then you've just got these little darker strands in the blue and in the green. Really like that. Yeah, if I go this way, look at the silicone, you can see it all. I'm absolutely fine with putting silicone into paintings because I've got a technique I use. If you look in the description of this video, I'll put my varnishing technique in there, and the silicone is irrelevant. It doesn't make a difference. So check that out. It'll be in the description. Really pretty. So you've got the biggest contrast there, the cells coming through. The pink, it's mostly the pink really. I can't really see any purple. Maybe there's is that purple or is that pink? Not really sure actually. Really pretty. All these lovely little waves of lines, and so pretty. And then the horizon, yeah, really irregular, which I like. And then the sky. Now the sky is really interesting because one of the paints has separated, but that I think just gives the most beautiful wispy effect. Really pretty. I think it might be the silver, because that's the silver. Yeah, I think it is the silver that's separated a little bit. But it gives just a really delicate, really delicate effect throughout the whole of the sky. Yeah, really glad I added that dark blue. It's not too much. I was worried if I put too much in, it would just dominate, but it hasn't. Got a random cell there. I might try and sort that out actually. I might drag something through that just to try and hide that, or I paint it afterwards when it's dry. Yeah, really happy. So I'll be back when it's dry. So here's the end result. It's now finished, now totally dry. So once it had dried, I embellished it. So the first thing I did was to actually straighten up the horizon. So I said when I was pouring it, I quite like it when there's lots of little bumpy bits, but where the cells bleed into the white, but I didn't like it. The cells were too big and also quite transparent. Didn't like it, so I've actually straightened that horizon and I've shaded it in. I've added, you can see, just a few darker lines across the painting, and I just think it breaks up that pale green section and it gives a little bit of perspective and depth, I think, because the lines get closer together near the bottom. Then I've also added some grass of different colours. You can see there's a beautiful band of pink flowers there, of pink cells, and also through here, different shades of the green. The sky is just beautiful. It's so pretty, just so tranquil. I love these natural lines. I haven't touched the sky, and these natural lines are just from that original pour. So really happy. And the colours, yeah, just fall down the edges. I tried to continue the pattern down the edges. Really sweet painting, really happy with it. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment, any thoughts you've got on this piece. Great, take care everyone. Bye.